Hello, welcome to Country Stitchers. I'm Liz.
Hi, I'm Deb. Welcome to Floss, friends.
Yes, it's a stitch day for us today.
Yes.
And we actually started early today. I got out the door before noon. That was a good
Liz
thing.
is early.
Yeah, well, I did say we. Deb's days always start early. Except for the rare occasional one where she sleeps in and then she startles herself by doing it.
I know. It's good and bad because then it feels good at the moment, but then the day is gone. And I hate that because I always have to feel like I accomplished something. And it drives me crazy that if I sleep in, the day goes so fast and then I just don't feel accomplished.
Yeah. And I dislike sleeping in when it's sunny and warm outside. I like my outside time in the summer and I love being out there till it gets dark. But in the wintertime, I can sleep in and not feel too bad about it. Don't mind. Not missing anything when it's cold out.
That's why I texted you yesterday because I thought, oh, I wonder if you want to come with us.
Yeah, man.
It was such a gorgeous day yesterday. And Rhett and I were hanging out for the day and we went to the park and went to a couple different Amish places and got some goodies. And
We took 2 scooter rides yesterday, Leroy and I. Got out twice. It was really nice. You're right. Played ball and played
It was
ball.
beautiful.
And played ball.
yeah, it was beautiful. So grab your stitching. Thanks for joining us and hanging out with us. This is nice to be able to sit down and actually stitch. It's been busy, busy, busy. I got out something, oh my gosh. This is a very, very, very old whip. And I was trying to find the date. I'm not sure when this was put out, but it's called Be You to Others Sampler by Hillside Samplings. It's very, very pretty. And I'm like 75% of the way finished.
Yeah, you are.
So I really want to get this done because I think it's beautiful. I really, really like it a lot. I know that I needed to do some different things. I'm going to get it off my stand. This is the older version of the Pitoki lap stand. And I have it on here and I'm still, look, this is how old it is. I used to do my DMC with bobbins. It's all DMC.
I returned one of her bobbins last week.
Yeah, and it was
Sarsaparilla.
an empty bobbin, and I'm thinking, Liz, you could have just thrown this out. I'm not doing this again.
I was so thrilled. I actually remembered who it belonged to too. I couldn't. That was back in the day where we were using alcohol wipes and wiping off the colors and numbers and writing them on with Sharpies and
Yeah,
so many phases of what we did with our stuff.
I know. So this is on a linen. I have no idea what linen it is. It's just a cream color, but it is.
Let's call it cream. I like cream.
All right, I like cream too. But it is a 28 count, which I never work on anymore. So I'm having fun, with that. It's super easy and quick and
Like having an
whoa.
electric needle in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is what I have accomplished. I have done a lot of back stitching on the house. I realized that was driving me crazy. I wanted it to be a little more defined. So I went ahead and did the back stitching on the windows, the edges of the house. The roof of the house is an elongated cross stitch. That's what gives it that look. The steps to the house are satin stitches. And then the grass, of course, that's cross stitch and elongated cross stitch in there. The sheep have French knots, which that was done a very long time ago when I actually worked on this piece. So I do have to tweak them a little bit and fix them up. My French knots were not that good back then.
Needed to.
There's some satin stitches on the
Improve your
sides.
language, huh?
Yes. Anyway, it is a super, super cute sampler. Lots of fun. Different. There's eyelets. There's all kinds of different things going on in here. And I love the colors. So I am going to finish it, stick with it, and get it done. Look, this is how long ago, too. I used package tape on the edges of my linen. Look at that, Liz.
Yep.
Oh, so funny. All right, well, that's what I'm going to do. My plan.
It's always good when a plan comes together.
Yes.
I brought along my pears, which I had finished 2 of. I don't know if you saw the video where
I'll show
where I
you.
had the 2 done. One is in the Bellagio, which is Gloriana. We had kind of gone back and forth about whether it was or wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Okay.
And then the blue is also a Gloriana. And so those are the 2 I do have done. And then the third one is the one on the far left here.
Okay.
That I'm working on now. And that one is also going to just be in blue. And that's this little guy I already started.
Oh.
So we're working on him. The blue Gloriana is Attic Blue.
Oh, it's pretty. Very pretty.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I'm working on right now.
Okay.
Load your needles.
So I'm going to get ready to stitch, but before I do that, I have to show you something I did work on.
And put your stitching down while she shows you, because you're going to want to see this. This is very clever.
Well, thanks. Liz got me a cool gift for Christmas, and we had shown it on a video. It was a Longaberger basket, and it had some, it was like an organizer basket, and it had a lid to it that had different places in the top to organize your things. And when we showed it, when Liz got it for me, it was just in the natural color, in its natural state. So I went ahead and did some tweaking to it. I finally got it ready to use as something that I can put in the bedroom next to where I stitch and have all of my goodies with me. So this is what I came up with. I'll show you all the bits and pieces in just a second, but I went ahead and painted the basket white and then distressed it, and then the lid is a green color, like a blue-green, that I use in the bedroom. I just had some extra paint left over from a piece of furniture that I painted. Long time ago, I was a recipient of a beautiful sewing kit, needlework kit that Sally, who is the Humble Bumble Stitcher, made, and I won it on Instagram. And it's so beautiful. I absolutely love the colors. The colors are so perfect for the bedroom. And I had it downstairs displayed in the sewing room, but I decided to incorporate all of her pieces into this basket. So I'll kind of take it apart as we go, but this is a cute bag that she made that I went ahead and stuck a ball jar in that has a metal frog on the top of it, so I can keep my highlighters and pens and things like that in it. And it just sits right down in this section of the basket top, which I'll show you in a minute. Then, I'll turn it this way. She made this adorable piece that goes with the whole set, and I went ahead and tied it onto the basket top, and you can just unroll it. I can use it, I can grab my pins out of it, my needles, whatever, roll it back up, and then I just have this gold large safety pin that I secured it with. So that can stay rolled up. In this round section of the lid, I found a metal flower frog that I actually had for a ball jar that I forgot that I had, and it fits perfectly in here. I glued it to the bottom of the lid. Then this is also a piece that Sally did, a little box, and then she stitched on the top. I glued this part of the box to the lid, and now I can use the insides for, you know, different this and that. Put the lid back on it. Over here, this is a lid to a larger box, and it fit perfectly in that opening of the basket, and then I have her box down in there in the lining, the plastic protector of the basket. I put some little pins, like little knob pins, on the sides of the underneath of that lid so that it fits down in there perfectly on the top of the basket top, the wooden part. Now I'll take off the top, and there's also a section in here in the center where I have a little notepad, our needle sharpener from Kohana is in there, another little piece from Kohana, a little tube that has some extra needles in there. This little section here holds a highlighter or a pen. So anyway, that's the top of the lid there.
Or in my crease, I stick my boo-boo stick in mine.
Oh, yeah.
Can put your laying tool in there too.
I'll also post this on Instagram just in case anybody wants to see it. But this is the underneath of it. Like I said, there you can see that flower frog. It's just glued to the bottom of the wooden lid. Like I said, this is a Longaberger basket. Longaberger is no longer made. You can find these baskets at different sales. You can find them online.
To suggest that you contact me. I have one available. It is one that you would want to do some finish work to, because it's there's a couple of water stains on the wooden top.
It's a little loved.
Yeah, but with light sanding and some clear coat, it'll fix it.
Yeah.
I don't believe I have a liner for the basket though, so you might have to buy the liner for the gathering basket.
So this is the plastic protector that is sectioned off. There's the bottom of Sally's box, which fits perfectly in there. So the lid then was directly over that box. So now whenever I want to put something in there, I can just take off the lid without taking off the entire wooden basket top and get to the insides. I have another little ball jar in here which I can keep things in. So anyway, I thought that turned out really, really cute. I was happy with it, and I'm so excited that I get to use all of Sally's things
Now,
on
question.
it. Yes.
I know where it sits in your bedroom.
Yes.
Are you taking that on our retreat? Or are we taking our other basket?
I don't know.
I may have to step up my game if it's going on our retreat. Mine isn't anywhere close to that. However, we also have our divided baskets.
Yes.
We got at the
we have our bags also
at the retreat
from Kim. So,
Yep.
I'm not sure what I'm going to take, but yes, I keep this in the bedroom. I was really happy with how it came out. So again,
It's gorgeous.
that's that. I worked on that and I was excited. I just showed Liz when she came over today. I kept it a secret.
It is beautiful.
So, yay.
Yes. After I saw it, I said, "Can I borrow your idea?" Now, the funny thing was, she didn't know this, but Carly did, because Carly helped me. I didn't even know what a frog was, I don't think, until I met Deb. She said something about having a frog, and I thought, you mean like ripping out your stitches frogging? And she goes, no, frog, like flower frog. And then she showed me one of her vases where she had some flowers in it. It's like, oh. Well, then I realized I did have some, but I didn't know what they were. I had no idea what they were. And they were in the basement in a box. So Carly and I sat and measured them all, because you had said you were looking for something that was, whatever it was 3 1/4 or 3, and every one of them that I looked at that I had was 3 1/2.
Okay.
Anyway, it was off by a fraction of an inch and was too big for the hole. And I thought, oh darn, this is not working.
I knew I'd eventually find what I wanted. I love that. I love the search of something. I don't ever buy something just to buy it. If I don't have a place for it or a specific reason to have it, I won't buy it. So I love that hunt. I think that's so fun.
You are a shopper, for sure. And that was not something I've ever been good at.
I remember us going places. We go to TJ Maxx or Home Goods, and she'd be putting this cute stuff in her cart, and I'd say, oh, where's that going? Oh, I don't know. And I remember thinking, oh, well, why are you getting it?
Because it's cute. I like it.
Oh, it's funny.
And I'm equally as bad about clothing. I have no idea what something will or won't look like on me, nor do I have much patience to try it on. It's terrible.
I just ordered bathing suits. I hate trying on bathing suits.
You know the one I got in the thrift shop?
Yeah.
I don't like it on me.
No.
Yeah, so.
Well, I'll tell you what. I love my bathing suits.
Do you?
Love them.
And you'll have to tell me where you found them.
I will. Amazon.
All right.
But I was so excited. I love them. They're so cute. They have like a built-in little skirt.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh, this is perfect for a cruise.
Yeah.
I love it.
So is it sort of like a top
Oh,
and
I'll
bottom?
show it to you.
Tankini-ish?
No, it's not. It is a one piece.
One
but
piece.
So cute. I'll show them to you then. Yeah, in case you want to get some.
Yeah.
Don't get the same pattern, please.
Oh, darn. We did order jackets.
That's a little
once,
much,
didn't
Liz.
That one year we
Oh,
ordered
yes.
the same jacket.
Yes.
We didn't have a choice though, because I think salmon was the only color left.
I think
wasn't it?
so. Yeah.
They had a sale at just a minute. Land's End.
Was it Land's End?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I was gonna say LL Bean, but I knew that wasn't right.
No, you're right. It was Land's End. Yeah.
So we were all on a retreat. It was our spring guild retreat with Delaware Valley. And
we were sitting in Salty Yarns in the,
sitting
well,
right in the lobby.
In the lobby, yeah.
And all of a sudden, everybody starts talking about the same thing, and then we didn't want, that FOMO thing going on, right? So we had to look it up. It's like, oh my gosh, look at the price on those spring jackets.
Yeah, that was nice.
And I think they were under $15.
Oh,
Whatever
they
the
were
price
cheap.
was, they
it
were.
was crazy.
So,
which is why I got one.
I think everybody there got a salmon one.
Yeah.
I don't know what colors were left, but I just remember
awesome.
thinking, these are nice.
And I always get compliments whenever I wear it because it's such a beautiful color. You know, such a happy color.
My only problem is now I'm half the size I was when I got it, so
okay.
it's a little big, but it's all right. It still keeps me warm. It's a good jacket to wear when I'm out with Leroy, scooting around on the scooter.
This is funny too. So this is back when I used to tape all of my pages together as well. Oh, the memories.
In large cut and fold.
Yeah. Woo! Look at that. Deb taped them all together. That's massive. I would not do that now. I mean, sometimes though, there are certain patterns where I will tape maybe 2 pages together just because it is so much easier to see that one overlap of it.
And especially if it happens to do that right at a critical juncture where there's like a Quaker motif or something, and you got part
something
of it
very
on one
busy.
page.
Yes, yeah. Or like a whole bunch of confetti and it's ay, ay, ay. So I think I'm gonna work on some satin stitches. Get those going.
I'm just trying to scoot through this one. Deb and I are getting ready to go away to a retreat in Gettysburg. We're going to the Mid-Atlantic Region EGA conference. It's at the Gettysburg Convention Center. Should be a blast.
Yes, we're really looking forward to it.
Deb's got to do her homework.
I do. I still have to do my homework. Yeah. It's just boring homework, so I'm not. If it was exciting,
I keep teasing her.
then I would get it done, but it's boring. Well, I mean, it's just, you got to have it done for class, but it's just a bunch of back stitching.
It's not exciting.
No. But I'll get it done. We're going to go to Pittsburgh before that for the US Open, and I'm going to take it with me. And your job is to bug me every day.
How much have you got done?
Until I get it done. Because honestly, if I sit down, I'll have it done in an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big deal, but...
Nope. I just think it's funny though. We couldn't wait until we finally got information about our classes and stuff, and then she gets this backstitch to work on.
Yeah.
And all I got was a list of supplies to bring.
Yeah, you don't have any work, right? To do, like homework to do.
No.
Pre-stitch, okay.
Nobody knows.
That's nice.
Yep. Honest to gosh, I have to keep going back and look at what I took.
Oh, I know.
I think one of them
I'm excited.
was one of my peyote.
Well, I don't
take
know. I
one
thought
of
something had something to do with beads. But I don't know what you got either.
It was something I wanted to learn to do. Was it 3-dimensional? I think it might be.
It's hard enough for me to remember mine, so I'm not sure. I'm taking a gold work class again, and I'm doing a crewel class, which I have not done crewel work. Although Liz says, yes, you do. I just didn't know I did it.
Yes,
but this will be so fun because there's an awesome chipmunk. Is it a chipmunk on there?
is.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
So she's actually going to be doing some stump work.
Oh, is that what I'm doing? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's cruel, but
I'm cruel.
I think there's an element of it to it. I could be wrong, but I remember when I saw it, I thought, yeah, it does not surprise me. You want to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
We were gonna do a class
fun.
in that when I was at the Guild in Illinois, and we moved before we got around to doing that one, and I didn't get to take it. But they have a lot of those classes. With the EGA, when you enroll and become a member, you also have an opportunity to take classes from the EGA itself, and they do different independent learning classes. You can also sign up and take course study programs to become certified as like a master craft person in a certain area. It's very intriguing. If you haven't ever visited the EGA's website, you should do that just to see what's out there. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And there are so many talented individuals in that organization and the chapters.
Yeah. And we are in a chapter called the Molly Pitcher Stitchers. We're going to miss the picnic. Well, you could still go, but I'll be in Pittsburgh. So that kind of stinks. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah.
One of these days it'll work out.
But we'll certainly connect with as many people as we can while we're
That's
in
exciting.
Gettysburg.
We also had a fun phone call last week. We were able to get in touch with Jean Farish and talk about the cruise and go over some fun things. That was exciting.
Yep. It's going to be fun. And we also signed up to go to the Jamboree.
Yes, that's
So,
right. Woohoo!
I don't know how many
Can't wait.
people there are in a
Yeah.
weekend now with the change in their facility, but we managed to get in, and we're going to go, and we're
Yes.
going to be able to meet up with Leela and Sandy and Mary and
All kinds of people. And just be able to go to Salty Yarns.
we have
Because last time we were in that area,
we didn't get there.
no. So I'm excited. And so if you're wondering, Salty Yarns is in Ocean City. Well,
Berlin.
yeah, it's Berlin, Maryland, but it's still Ocean City area. Amazing store. And they have retreats. And this one that we love to go to is called the Jamboree. It's always held in October. So if you want to get on their website, that'll tell you all about it. It'll tell you the designers that are going to be there for classes and just the rundown of all the information. So we have their phone number always in our Dropbox in our videos description box. Yes. So if you're interested, if you're going to be around in October or you want to travel, even if you're not in this area, they're always a lot of fun to go to.
Yeah, Sandy should get the prize for coming the farthest, huh?
Yeah, Alaska.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to be in her suitcase going home with her. That's where Matt said he wants to go for his 50th birthday.
Yeah, don't doubt that at all. That would be, I mean, it's an incredible place. It's beautiful. This is funny. I look at this pattern and I see how it progresses, but my brain says, how is that working out that way?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It wants to say that the pattern is changing, but it's not. It's just repeating itself. Oh my gosh. I had a nightmarish experience with a meatloaf last week. Oh, man.
That's not good.
No, I was almost off my feet for a whole day because of it. So I had this little urge to make my mom's old meatloaf recipe. I hadn't had it in I had not made my mom's recipe in 15 years.
Really?
She made a very sweet meatloaf.
Oh, gotcha.
Not real savory. And so I thought, you know what? I'll make that. Defrosted the meat, had it all set up, got it mixed together. Everything was going just swimmingly, and put it in the oven, baking away. Checking the temperature, everything's going great. So,
I thought you were going to tell me your oven broke.
nope. But I reached in, I had 2 pot holders.
Oh, no.
And I had the casserole, I used a Pyrex meatloaf dish.
Yeah.
Had it on top of a round pizza pan.
Uh-huh.
Picked it up from the front, both, round disc like this, picked it up, came out of the oven. As I lifted, the pan bent in half, and the casserole, the meatloaf started to go back into the oven upside down. That's what I said, because now, of course, all that juice and everything is going down into the oven.
No.
So the thought in my mind was, you got one option. Which finger don't you care about? Because you got to grab the other side of that tin. So I just went, okay, index left, boom.
Oh my gosh.
Grabbed that thing, got it out, got it up, set it down. So you can't see it much anymore, but there's a white spot there.
Oh.
That burned the whole tip.
Oh my gosh.
And the tip of these, but this didn't blister.
Oh.
This one's down in.
Oh my
But anyway, I
gosh.
saved the meatloaf. And it brought back a flashback to when I worked at Super Beef, which was this restaurant I managed in
Super
college.
Beef?
Yeah, we served, of all things, sliced
Wonder why that
roast
didn't
beef
make it.
sandwich, right? So, actually, they were the hottest thing going in New Hampshire.
Anybody out there go to a Super Beef? I want to know.
This was the second of the two in the chain.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so anyway,
That's funny.
it was delicious. It was top round. We cooked them ourselves, sliced them right there, served them hot on a Kaiser roll. Oh, they were delish. So I had put 2 top rounds into this big convection oven that we had, and I could put, I think it was 6 in at a time, 3 pans of 2, and they were full size. So about, I'm guessing, close to 25 pounds. The round was, and we had to trim them, do all the work. And I went to take out the tray, and you had to put one hand under the center of it, the other hand on the side, and then slide it out because it was so heavy.
Yeah.
The rounds
Oh, no.
hadn't, normally a roast will kind of adhere to the bottom of the pan when you're cooking it. Well, they hadn't. And as I picked the sheet out, they slid towards me. And I thought, that's almost half a day's worth of product right there. So I pulled the whole pan in against my right arm right here,
Yeah.
and used my right arm to keep all of the pan while I got it onto the counter. Saved the beef. Had a really nice scar that ran down the front of my arm for a while,
beef.
though. I did. I saved the beef. So that commercial, "Where's the beef?" I knew where the beef was.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Somewhere between the counter and my right bicep.
Oh no.
Anyway, so, but the meatloaf, I got the pan straightened out, got it back in the oven, finished baking it. But it was so moist as well. Came out really good in that regard. But I don't think a sweet meatloaf is everybody's favorite in my house. So I asked Rick, and he goes, he did the scene from Night and Day with Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise, and he goes, savory, sweet, savory, sweet. I was like, all right, I get the message. I get it. Next one, savory. But he said it wasn't bad. It's just not as good. I said, I get it, and I'm not that sensitive as a cook.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to go through that again.
Exactly.
And bother cooking something else
No.
again if it isn't
Yeah, if
the
people don't
thing
like
that-
it,
yeah.
I don't want to
You
make it.
know, it's like, that's okay.
So anyway, it was funny. Do you know what you know what it tastes like? You'll recognize this flavor. You know the meatballs you get at the Wagon that you like, or is it the chili that has that sweet sort of grape?
I make a meatloaf or a meatballs that are with the grape jelly and the chili sauce. I think you just mix those two together, and they're very
sweet.
sweet, very sweet.
That's what this is like. It's got that
okay.
sweet
Yes.
flavor to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I knew there was something you and I had. You made them okay.
Yeah, that's an appetizer that it always goes over well.
Yeah, and what?
Yeah.
Yeah, you will, and you've had them at a lot of the functions too.
Yes, they're easy to make. They're
Yeah.
easy to have, and
And I was
yeah.
thinking,
But for my meatloaf, I always do a bacon wrapped meatloaf, and
Okay.
it's
definitely savory.
it's
Yeah.
good.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll choose that over sweet any day. Oh, whoops! I thought I turned that off. That's McKenna.
I did decide though that in the course of my cooking last week, those air fryers are pretty sweet.
Do you like them?
I'll tell you what's the best I've ever had are tater tots in there. I mean, I put tater tots in the oven and on casseroles and stuff. they got so crisp on the outside and so soft on the inside.
Yeah?
I could have done a commercial for them right there. It's like, all right, the tater tots, perfect in an air fryer. This is so good. I think I ate half a dozen of them before I served anybody's plates. I usually don't.
People, I've heard good things. People like them.
Well, Carrie and Timmy got one, and they use it all the time. And I watch it. I clean it quite often. I watch, all the different things they've been cooking in it. And so I asked her the other day, I said, may I use your air fryer? She goes, yeah, you don't have to ask. I said, all right, well, I want to try tater tots.
There you go. So let Rick know that's what you like for Christmas.
Well, I actually want one better. I told him when we move into our new place, I'm going to get myself a housewarming gift, and I'm going to get the Cuisinart version of it, because Kevin got that one, and it's not just an air fryer, it's also a toaster oven and 2 other things. So it's like, it's a nice unit.
Okay.
And the air fryer is one component.
Okay.
And I thought that would be nice for an apartment for sure.
Yeah.
Because you got smaller square footage. On the counter, you probably have a lot less space too.
Oh, well, I think maybe you'll find you have the same amount of room because you have a very tiny kitchen.
Well, that's true.
So maybe you won't have to adjust too much in that area.
That's true. So I have to say I like it. Now, I still find that when they're running the air fryer, I want the vent on, because while you don't have the grease just out in the air, you do have it. It collects inside as well, but I prefer to have the vent running when it's on.
Gotcha.
But that's really the only thing I can say about it is just I would vent it, but good stuff. We put things in outer space, and we can't make our kitchen bigger.
Well, you can, but
Yeah, but you know what I mean. We tend to go, well, I guess it depends on the square footage of your house, but a lot of just simple ranchers still got kind of those little galley kitchens in them. Of course, in the house I bought in Millersville, it had one side of the kitchen had the sink and the window. Oh, good catch. And the
I should be sitting back. Oh gosh, that would have hurt.
surprise.
Woohoo!
And and then the left side had counter, and it went up underneath the opposing walls cabinet to the stove. And then I had the little 18-inch piece of counter between the stove and the fridge. So it really was very small. But I knew, being my first home, I knew I wanted more cupboard space and more counter space. So there was a long wall, so it was sort of set up like an eat-in kitchen. So instead of making it an eat-in kitchen, because the dining room was right there, we used the dining room to eat in, had French doors, looked out onto the backyard, and everything is really pretty. And then I took the wall where the breakfast nook would have been, and I just went and bought a big piece of counter and took some of those little supports for under the counter that are kind of decorative, popped those on the wall, and put a four-door cabinet, that's what I'm trying to say,
Okay.
above the counter. It almost completely doubled
Nice.
my counter and cupboard space.
Good.
Yeah. Of course, nobody could sit in the kitchen and eat, although they could sit at that counter, and I did get stools.
Yeah.
So we had stools in there, and of course that's where everybody sits anyway when they want to visit. But it worked out really nice for storage. In fact, I don't even think I stored any food downstairs in a pantry. I had enough space up there for all of it, except for the freezer was downstairs, but that worked out well.
Yeah.
I go visit Kevin and Carrie, and I'll open up a drawer looking for something, and there won't be anything in the drawer at all, and I'll think, oh my gosh, they've lived here years and they still have an empty drawer. I want this house. I want to start over. Look for empty space.
Oh, let us know what you're working on in the comments section. We'd love to hear about that.
Yes, and where you're watching from too.
Yes. Yes. You're finally getting some summer weather here. It's been beautiful once the rain stopped, and now it's gonna get warm, really, really warm, so that's nice.
Once the rain stopped and the temperatures increased a little bit. It's a little it's always breezy in Lancaster though.
Anymore? My gosh, we have had wind like since 2024.
It hasn't stopped yet.
Oh, jeez.
We could probably pinpoint the exact storm it started in.
Jeez, it's just always. Good girl. Crossing this off. You don't want to stitch them again.
Well, and I do have the magnet there, but it's just playing with my mind if I don't mark it off because it's so repetitive.
Yes.
I'll end up like I did, was it the tulip pillow I was working on? I ended up with like 2 extra leaves or something on it.
That's okay.
Oh, where'd you come from? I am slowly but surely making progress in the sorting through department.
Good.
I'm gonna have to get over there eventually and start looking at some of that stuff with me.
Yes, I'd love to. Finished my Token of Love, that little sampler. I don't have it fully finished, but the stitching is finished. That's good. I always send Liz a picture when I'm finishing up something. I found my E to use, and then she was finished.
Where'd you pull that one from?
That E? Out of the book that...
Brenda Keys?
Yes, Brenda Keys.
Ultimate Sampler.
Yep.
I was scrolling through that the other day too. Forget, oh, whoops, Liz, not the right spot. Let's see.
So now I'm kind of getting itchy to do some summery stuff. I love to get out my, oh, what's it called? It's not Kaleidoscope. The one from Fat Quarter Shop that I did one in the color scheme, and now I'm working on the other one.
The quilt one.
Well, it kind of reminds you of that.
Yeah, just a minute.
Oh.
Not Flower Market.
No, I have to finish that too. So I like to work out by the pool and do fun stuff like that. But I did bring up the other floor stand, and I put it in the bedroom, and I put on it the By the Bay.
Serendipity.
Yeah. Serendipity.
I think that's what it's
By
called.
the Bay piece, and I really want to get some progress done on that too.
That one's pretty.
It is so
Well,
pretty.
I mean,
It is pretty.
you think it's all pretty or we wouldn't collect it, huh?
Exactly.
Funny, I was looking through one bin and I'm like, oh, I remember when I did that. I remember when I stitched that.
So these are your finishes?
No, they're just the patterns that I stuck in the back of my pattern file that I had already stitched, and I thought, now these are pretty old. Am I gonna?
I was gonna say, did you keep the patterns because you thought you were going to stitch them again, or?
No, I think I just thought, what do I do with these now? Because I wasn't a member of the guild and things when I stitched them. I just stuck them back there. I probably thought either Mom or Karen or somebody might want to do it, and I just stuck it there. But now they're how do I say this? They might be a little beyond their shelf life. Just like we were talking about the magazine, and that some of those icons people stitched all the time in the 80s, you just don't stitch them anymore, but everybody recognizes them.
Did you ever watch that sitcom, The Goldbergs?
Yes.
That cracks me up. And it is so funny because in the 80s, oh my gosh, it is just the funniest thing.
Now, what's the new one that's out with Tim Allen and his daughter? And she moves back in.
Switching Gears.
That's it. That's
yes,
cute.
I love that. I love Tim Allen.
I do
so
too.
I'll watch anything.
I think that one's
Yep,
funny.
we watched that one. Yep.
And we started watching, I know you said you and Matt had already watched them, but we hadn't yet. Tom Hanks's Americas. That's really a cool
that's
one.
really good. Yeah.
Then there is a movie on Netflix called Nonnas.
Oh yeah.
Nonnas.
Nona.
Yeah, and it's probably one of the best Vince Vaughn performances I think I've seen. He just does such a good job in it, and Rick and I really enjoyed that one. Have you seen that one?
I have not seen it yet, but it was on my list to watch, and then you said it was really good.
Yeah.
We watched a really good one the other day, Invincible. Was it Invincible or was it? Oh, shoot.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Yep.
It's a newish one out, and it's a true story, and
Came out in the early 2000s. It's
it's that old?
Denzel Washington and
No.
this isn't the train one?
No. This is.
Oh, and you said
Maybe I
Unstoppable.
have. Well, you said.
No, in our
me
text
see.
when we were texting. I
Okay.
thought that's what you had
So
said.
it has oh shoot, what is her name? J-Lo. J-Lo is the mom, and her son was born with one leg, and he's a wrestler, and it is such a good movie.
Have not seen it. And
It's so good.
do you remember, was it on
It's on
Netflix?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we watched it on Netflix.
Okay.
Very,
have to look it
very
up.
good.
You said J-Lo.
Yes.
Okay. I don't,
Oh shoot! I wish I could. It's something like that,
well, maybe that's the title too. But the original, the one Unstoppable I remember was the train, which I know you've seen it because I think we watched it together. The train gets loose in New Bedford, Pennsylvania, and goes the whole way into the Philadelphia area unmanned, unstoppable. And basically it's how the woman who was the dispatcher at the one train center and the other guys all work together to try to get this train stopped before it goes right into the station that it's headed for.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
I think I do.
That was a true story.
That would be good to rewatch.
Yeah, that was
because
a true one too.
you said that had Denzel Washington in it.
Denzel Washington.
I love
and,
him. He's such a good actor.
Damien. No. Oh shoot, Matt Damon. Yeah, Matt Damon and Denzel Washington are the two.
Okay.
Nope. Sorry. The fellow who played Star Trek. I'll think of his name.
Don't know.
Captain Kirk. He played Captain Kirk on Star Trek.
On the TV Star Trek?
No, on the new remake of the movies that they did.
Okay. I remember the TV
it's not
version.
Chris Pine.
Chris
Is
Pratt?
he the one? Okay, so it's Chris Pine. Chris Pratt played in Jurassic Park, I think. Chris Pine played in that movie, This Means War, with Tom Hardy. Do you remember the two spies? And they both fell in love with Reese Witherspoon.
Did I ever see that one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we watched it when we were down at the condos. But it's a really funny movie. She's a product tester. So she puts out, she's like a reporter on new products. And so she has focus groups and people try out products. And she bumps into these guys through a dating app, I think it is. And they connect. But these two guys work together and they don't realize they met the same girl.
Oh, yes.
That?
Oh, that is good. I do remember that. That is funny.
It is. And
yeah, that's
so
a good
that's
one.
Chris Pine.
Okay.
He's the one who was in that train show with Denzel Washington as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought that was Matt Damon, but it was not.
Anyway, you guys you'll enjoy that movie with J-Lo in it. It's very good.
Now there's another one she was in with, of all people, Robert Redford and Morgan Freeman. And she played the daughter of Robert Redford. And she was, she may have actually been the daughter-in-law. Her husband was dead, and she had a son, or a son, I think. But she came back to see if she could stay with Grandpa for a while. I forget how that all worked out. But anyway, they had a ranch. And it was called Unforgiving?
I don't know.
No, Unfinished Life. That's what it was called.
I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to look at that.
That one's intense.
Okay.
And Morgan Freeman is very scarred in the movie, physically.
Oh, really?
And every day,
He's a good actor.
Robert Redford has to go into the room and inject him with pain medication. Here, what had happened was he had gotten attacked by a grizzly.
Oh, gosh.
And it had done all kinds of damage to him. So, but it didn't keep him from being Morgan Freeman, you know what I mean? I mean, he's always going to keep going. So
I love his voice.
So anyway, that's another good one. But that, when you said J-Lo initially, I thought, and Unstoppable, I'm thinking, oh, tell me his Unfinished Life, because that was a good one.
So I'm sure it's not that title, but
Yeah.
it is a one-word title.
Yeah.
And it is new, and I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix.
Could still be that
but
one too.
it is very good. We don't have a lot of time at all this time of year to watch TV, so that was it was one of those rainy evenings where we couldn't do anything outside. So we did get to sit down and chill and watch a movie. That was very, very nice.
I think I recall seeing.
Which, by the way, if you need anything from the garden, you might want to grab it.
Okay, will do. I was noticing the other day when it was raining and I was over that your lettuce looked like it was really coming in.
Lettuce, kale, spinach, whatever you need. There's all kinds of salad goodies out there.
Nice.
They're all ready.
All right.
Strawberries. I gotta pull my garlic up and get that. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta write that down. I gotta get that done now.
Okay.
Get that drying. So yes, you have all kinds of goodies out there to pick from.
Now, when you plant garlic, how long does that take to germinate and grow?
You plant it in the fall, and it stays in until this time of year.
Huh.
Yep.
And then how big, like what size would you expect the plant
So
to
it's
be? Like,
well, it's the clove that grows underground.
right.
You know, a bulb.
But you know, you break it into little pieces. But I mean,
What's the bulb? The garlic bulb.
so about what?
Just
size
what you
of
get
a
in the
tennis
store.
ball?
Exactly the same thing as in the store. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
They don't get any bigger in
Well,
your
I
garden.
mean,
I was just
I
curious.
don't know. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I know how much you like garlic. I was
I
thinking
love garlic.
maybe that you got an extra bonus because they grew bigger in your own garden or something.
No. I mean, the bonus is I know how they were grown.
Yeah.
So, but I love.
Now, is there anything that you plant that, well, obviously the benefit is, like you said, knowing how it's grown and that there's nothing else added, or
Right.
But is there something that you grow that you know you get bigger than in a grocery store? Like my beefsteak and
Well, they
certain
are.
tomatoes here grew so big compared to
Okay.
grocery
They
store.
have large tomatoes in the stores, but you can't get a better tasting vegetable than one you grow yourself, as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned. It wasn't shipped anywhere. You get it straight from the ground, which
Right.
if your soil is healthy and you're not spraying it with junk and stuff that you shouldn't spray on it and all that. There's just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything, the potatoes, it doesn't matter what it is, it's just amazing. So I know, I mean, gardens are a lot of work, but oh my gosh, the payoff is incredible.
Well, that I agree with. I always thought it was cool.
And it certainly cuts down on any kind of grocery bill you have.
Yeah. Arizona mom and dad had some citrus trees on their property, and
ooh,
that was
nice.
fun. Yep. You could grab an orange, you could grab
that would be awesome.
a lemon.
Yes. I almost got a lemon tree, a lemon and a lime.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can have them here. It's just you have to bring them in for the winter.
Yeah.
But they're adorable inside too, you know. But I decided not to this year. I think I will though eventually. We have been June is the wedding month, so it's just crazy with weddings and graduations.
I was thinking about the weddings the other day, and
I'm just glad we're not putting on one this year.
that's exactly what went through my mind. This year they
so
just
nice
get to
go.
attend them.
Yeah. Woo. We don't have any showers to do this summer or weddings.
My other thought was how different our lives are, because we grew up all over the world, and I never had friends that I grew up and watched them get engaged and went to their showers and things like that, because I just
you were moving every couple of years.
Didn't live that life.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I hear you going, and then Rhett's at somebody else's wedding, and then another family. I'm thinking, wow, I missed all that. Didn't do family weddings at our house. Well, the very first wedding in our family, our immediate family, was my older sister, and obviously that was a big deal. Beautiful wedding, done on the base at the base chapel, and then the party was at the club. Well, I hope my sister liked it as much as I did. I was her junior bridesmaid.
Oh,
So I got
and
to
how old
be
were you?
12. I was in 8th grade, I think, when she got married. Yeah. 7th, 8th, let's see. No, I was in 8th grade when she had Jenny. That's right. I was in 7th grade when she got married. We had just moved to Arkansas, so I was in 7th grade. And then by the time we left Arkansas 2 years later, I was an aunt. Funny how that happened.
Yeah.
I remember my brother telling everybody when he found out that my sister was expecting that she was going to have the baby on his birthday. And everybody...
She did?
She did.
Did she?
Mm-hmm. Everybody blew her off. Or blew him off, you know. Nah. Sure enough, he and my niece share the same birthday.
Aww.
And he guessed the sex of every grandchild ever born.
Really?
Yep. Didn't matter whose it was. He knew what they were having. He sent me when I was the last one to have kids in our family, and I had the last 2. Up until my 2, the order of them had been girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy.
Really?
And it didn't matter whose it was.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, So as soon as I told everybody I was expecting, I get this little, box in the mail, and I open it up, and it's a little baby outfit for a little girl. And I said to Ed on the phone, I called him, I said, well, thank you. I said, you're hedging your bets, or do I put the boy in it either way? And he goes, you're not having a boy, you're having a girl. I said, oh, yeah, okay. And sure enough,
you did.
We did.
Wow. Did he guess his own kids too?
Must have.
Wow.
Yeah, because his went boy, girl. He was the second one to have one, and that would be Chris. Then it went back to, I think, Carol. Nope. Mickey, then Carol, then Eddie. Yeah, because that would have been the boy, girl order or something like that. Anyway, and Carol had 2 boys, and Mick had 2 girls, and then Eddie and I each had 1 of each, and it still came out in that order, no matter who it was that was having them. Imagine if he could have capitalized on that.
I know.
He could have predicted people's babies' sexes and then saved them lots of money. No, don't waste your money on little girls' dresses. You need boys' pants. Of course, nowadays, ultrasound will solve that problem, but... How many people were in your dad's family for siblings? I forget.
Just Aunt Charlotte and Dad.
So just them, just like his family, like you 2.
Yep.
And Mom was by herself, right?
And Mom was an only child.
Yeah.
Yep. Our family's very tiny.
Yes.
Then I married somebody with a lot of siblings.
we had a lot going on in common in the younger part of our lives, but not the adult part.
It was always so much fun because, of course, you know, Matt and I have been together like forever. So his youngest brothers were still quite little. I mean, his youngest brother was in kindergarten when we got married.
Really?
Sammy, he was our ring bearer. So it was always so much fun going over to Matt's house because it was constant noise and something was happening or going on or it was just so different from how I grew up. You know, it was really, oh my gosh.
Curious.
It was just so cool.
She said the same thing about Timmy's family because they had 4 boys and a girl.
Okay.
And so whenever everybody would pile back to the Mays household, it was just like that, busy, something going on. And Carrie loved that. She said it was one of the things that she loved the most was just how busy everybody was. And I thought, that's funny. I never would have thought about my home as a quiet or busy place one way or the other. It just kind of was what it was.
And the best part of it, I always thought was hilarious, was dinner time. Because with all those boys, oh my gosh, I'll have to show you.
Are we poking people's hands with forks?
Oh yeah, but there were never leftovers, ever. Like Matt, I remember after we got married and I made spaghetti one night and the next night we had it again. He goes, didn't we just have this last night?
Oh
no. Like, yes.
You were crushed.
But at the dinner table, it was hilarious because it took me years to break Matt of the habit of guarding his food while he would eat. That's how he ate because, I'm sorry, but if one of those boys could reach something on your plate, it was
theirs?
It was theirs.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh, it was the funniest thing. Oh gosh.
That is funny.
Oh boy.
So there wasn't a lot of sit up straight and put your hands in your lap. They were letting everybody guard their food.
Once that prayer was finished, it was like,
dig in.
Get it in as fast as you can. Did you ever notice how quick he eats?
I did notice that he does eat quickly.
Oh my gosh, I'm done with 2 bites, and I think I don't dilly-dally, but
Nope.
good grief.
Yeah.
Did you even taste the food?
Yeah, now that you say that, I did notice that.
Wow.
And Logan eats pretty quickly, but not dramatically.
No, he is, and like, slow down. He just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I worked.
Unless I actually take the plate away.
When you guys ate, well, let me rephrase that question. What was dinner like at your house with Brian and Mom and Dad? Was it talkative time? Just a business get it done and eat time?
It wasn't get it done and eat time. It was, yeah, we would talk. I don't think it was quite as, I've always loved family dinner. It was always very important to me. And see, we had a very small rancher. Our kitchen was not an eating kitchen, and there was no dining room. It was, you walked in the front door, there was a living room, and then 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a kitchen, and a basement. That was the entire house. So we ate dinner together, but we ate in the living room with TV trays because
that's where you ate.
That was where we ate.
Yep.
More often than not, the TV would also be on at the same time. Not that we really were, it was there as noise, but yet it was something, it was more of a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So I always dreamed of the everybody sits down together at the table. There is no TV or phones or anything during, once we had phones, during dinner. It is, you are all communicating with each other. And that's what we've always done as a family. We have had the best times around that table, especially with Logan, because he's hilarious. But that was always very important to me to do things like that. Like when you're growing up, you bring things from your parents that you appreciate that are good, right. But then you also pay attention to, you know what?
I don't think I want to do that.
I'd rather do that differently.
Yep.
Or like I remember my mom got me a TV for my bedroom when I was 12, and that was my Christmas, like my big Christmas gift. That was not a good idea, because then I spent time in my room.
Yeah.
Well, that was dumb. I don't mean to call her dumb, but I mean, she probably thought the same thing after a while, like maybe that was not smart. So my kids never had TVs in their rooms, ever. It was here in the family room, that was it. It was just, no, you don't get TVs, no computers, nothing like that in your room. So they weren't kids that ever really were in the room. It just worked. So, but I love dinner time. I love family dinner time. I think that is so important.
Yeah. We often, I don't remember us eating without mom and dad unless they actually had a dinner engagement somewhere.
Okay.
So it was like, even if dad was going to be late, we waited.
Oh, yeah.
And sat down together.
Oh, yeah.
I remember maybe once or twice mom saying, you know what, guys, dad just called.
Okay.
He has no idea now when he's going to be free. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and eat.
Now, there were those years, though, where McKenna was in dance.
Oh, yeah.
And violin lessons, and Logan was in a sport. And there were certain nights where it was like we were tag teaming, okay, I have McKenna tonight, you have Logan, we meet in the middle, I got subs, let's eat subs real quick together, and then we're off again.
Yeah.
Of course there was those times.
Yeah.
But thankfully we were able to keep that to a minimum, and for the most part, and still my kitchen table is where everybody comes to, and even though they're out of the house, although it is really cool though, we get invited now to their house for dinner, which is so sweet. McKenna will text, Mom, do you have anything for dinner tonight? I didn't really think about it. You want to come over? Sure. Done. Yes. Can I bring anything?
Well, we had, I would call it pretty open dinner times where, what did everybody do today? Anybody have anything special happen? If we had tests, they always knew those were coming. Always talked about those. It was pretty straightforward. And yeah, very rarely was it a quiet dinner. I mean, usually somebody had something to.
Well, now for me also it's a little bit different, because with my mom passing away when I was a teenager.
Right.
And she was sick when I was 14, very sick. So I learned how to cook and bake after she passed away. And I still have my very first cookbook that I ever bought. It's still my favorite to this day, probably because it's so, you're writing all kinds of things down in it, and it's just the go-to cookbook. And I remember buying that cookbook and starting in the beginning and just going through it and learning. And my dad and my brother and Matt were all the guinea pigs. And luckily, I learned that I loved to cook. And I like to bake too. But I enjoy the process of cooking, always have. So that was exciting. And they enjoy the process of eating. So that worked out really well.
It always helps to have
They
guys.
are really good eaters, yes. That was always so much fun.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I was so busy in high school with, I was in 3 choirs on the bass. 2 of them were church choirs, and one was like a special chorus sort of group. And then I was in student government my last 2 years of high school. So I was not home a lot. And then when I wasn't at home with school activities, I was not at home because I babysat. That's how I made my living. That's where my spending money came from.
Yep.
And so I liked babysitting because I could babysit, and as soon as the kids went to bed, I could do my homework. I mean, it was the perfect job.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it. So I often would get asked if I would take on, like, a, for lack of a better way to express it, an ongoing babysitting commitment. Like, one of the women I babysat for was a nurse, and her husband was in the service, and they lived 2 streets behind us. And she had just had her second son. And she wanted to return to work part-time, but that meant that she would take second shift, but her husband wouldn't be home for like 2.5 hours after she had to be at work.
Oh, okay, so you had the...
So she asked me if I would do that, you know, would I babysit during the week, and commit to going straight there after school and being there till Captain Sutter got home. I said, sure. And they insisted on paying me minimum wage. And I said, I just need my babysitting rate. And she said, no, because you could be out working a job instead of doing this for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
And she said, and we value what you do, and we want you to know we value what you do.
Well, that was very sweet.
It was. I made a mess of money that year.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's 2.5 hours, but minimum wage at the time I think was like $2.10 an hour. So instead of 50 cents an hour babysitting, I was getting over 4 times that. That was really nice. And then I also spent, you know, like weekends. I would sit for them if they went out of town. That was fun too.
I'm trying to like triple count all my satin stitches. I don't want to mess up because I haven't done them in a while. So I got out of the rhythm of how many spaces are in between and how many, like, because I don't feel like ripping it out.
See? Oh, very pretty.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Very nice. I find it intriguing when you showed me that a couple days ago, that color palette is so similar to the ones you're still like, it's the same palette.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, because I think once I get this finished, I'll frame it and hang it in the bedroom because it really goes, well, I don't know though. Maybe I'll put it down in the craft room. I'm not sure. One of these days I'll run out of wall space.
Well,
but I'm not going to worry about that until that happens.
You got a lot of roof space up there, Deb.
We could dangle them.
That's what I was thinking. You just hang them. Free, right up in the ceiling.
There you go. There's a new look.
Or you could be the first person to come up with this like hanger that mounts them on the angled part of your roof, like slips in between your beams there. You just slide them in and swap them out. The rest of my needlework is hanging from the roof.
Well, I think we should probably...
I know. I'm having so much fun though.
I know.
But I guess we're not going to bump into each other for a while, not till you get ready to go.
Well, I mean, I was going to tell you though, Saturday it looks like it might be a good... Well, I don't know about the weather, but if it's a good weather day, you can always bring the girls over to swim.
Okay.
Because I know you have the twins.
Are they going to freeze?
No, I'll put the heater on.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Yeah.
I might have shorts and a t-shirt on though. I'll have to see.
Well, it's supposed to be, you know, summer-ish weather. But they did talk about storms. I'm not quite sure how the weather's going to be. But if it works out and you want to come over.
All right. I'll have to think though about what to... I could always wear last year's suit. I mean,
Well, of course.
that's not going to make a difference.
Yeah. Well, remind me to show you those too before you leave.
Yeah.
So.
There's something I was going to say though. We were talking about. Oh, about seeing each other before we go. What time do we want to go? I mean, we hadn't actually.
You mean that Wednesday that we're leaving?
Yeah. I have to tell Mr. Mark, who is providing me with my transportation, what time to bring it to. I told him I didn't really care, I didn't think, but.
I don't know. Let me get back to you.
All right.
Let me think about that one.
Have your service call my service?
Yes.
All right.
My people call you people.
Yeah. You do
I need people. I don't have people.
I know. I wish I had people.
Yeah.
Feel
So do I.
important.
I want people to do this for me and do that for me.
Yes. Empty
then-
the dishwasher.
And then I can stitch.
Or go down and bring me my floss. It's this color hanging on this rack.
Oh, gosh. All right.
What'd you get done?
Well, I did get some cross stitches taken across the top here. I don't think I told you this, but I am going to shorten it a little bit. Change it. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to bring it across the top of, oh, sorry, Liz.
That's all right.
My huge pattern.
It's your book.
My book. I'm going to actually tweak this border, bring it down a little bit, and then go across this area. So I'm not sure exactly what then I will squeeze in and fit in. It just depends. I'm just going to kind of play with it as I go. So it will look a little bit different than what this picture is showing. I don't know if I told you, Liz, but I'm going to bring this top of the border down.
I think you
And then
mentioned
I'm going to
that.
go across here
Okay.
and kind of play around with that and see what I want to do, if anything, up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of reminds me of where I'm folding that one. I wish I could remember which one I was doing that to. Here's where I got to.
Let me see. Oh, yippee.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah. we
Nice.
Got a good start to the top of this.
Yes. I like the variegation in that blue. Very
yeah.
pretty. Hurdy party.
Yeah, it goes pretty quick.
Yeah. Nice.
Thank you. What was the one I was working on the other day? I don't remember. I'll show them real quick. This one I brought. I just forgot to pull it out. So, as we say goodbye, I did pick back up the sampler tree by Liz Matthews.
Yeah, this is cute.
And this was the one that you may remember. We were messing with the silks because I was messing with the wrong colors. And so we pulled out the silks. I had to restart the threads, but now I've got the sampler part of the sampler tree done.
Nice.
I just need to work on
Now you get
that.
to do the fun stuff.
Yeah, get to do the...
Some people love stitching letters and some people don't.
Yeah.
To me, they're boring. Do you like them?
Not
I
particularly.
know you don't like houses or borders.
Well, I don't mind
You're gonna
borders.
run out of stuff
They
to
don't
stitch.
like me. Borders don't like me. I love borders.
Okay.
I like it when someone else does them. But no, actually, I don't mind doing them. Like they were small. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't a big deal. But I would prefer to do designs over.
Me too. I want to do the
text.
fun stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would prefer that.
Yeah. That's funny. Although those Scottish ones, when you stitch
Oh.
those alphabets, no, they're fun.
That's a
I
lot of.
love that.
That's
was,
almost like doing black work.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, those
Yes,
are
they're
pretty.
fancy. Okay, well, hopefully you got some stitching done.
Yes.
We're going to continue to stitch, but I need to eat first.
She's feeling faint.
I finally was able to speak to a few people that are going to go on the cruise because I joined the group so we could chit chat. And so some people are asking certain questions, and I thought, okay, so the question I would be, who loves to eat as much as Deb does?
Well, I know one thing. It's going to take us a little while to plan our culinary mapping for the cruise because she's going to want to go to certain restaurants. I'm going to... Trevor just walked by. I'm sorry. He came by the couch, and we hadn't seen him while we were doing the video. He walked by and looked with this lammy hanging out of his mouth like,
Yeah.
okay, are we done yet?
But there's a couple of them, like La Petite Chef just looks like so much fun. And I like French food. There's another French restaurant in there too that they advertised.
But seriously, you can pretty much eat your way through the day on a cruise.
Yeah.
That's it. Does not matter what time of day it is.
And I'm only referring to the ones you have to do special reservations for. Then the rest of the ship is full of all the food that is there all the time from what you said, right? Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'll just follow you.
Okie dokie. All right. Okay. Well, hopefully we will see you again soon. We
Yes.
may actually tape while we're away.
That might be a good opportunity.
Do something while we're in the room or something like that.
Yeah.
We know we have some giveaways in the last video, so you can still get in on that. We did not announce them on this one, but we will.
Yes, we will.
So, all right.
Till we see you next time. As always,
Share, enjoy
joining you at
needlework.
work.
See ya.
Bye-bye.